Hey guys, it's Austin White. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be putting together a $570 budget gaming PC. And this one, I'm going to be honest, I'm not too excited about because if you go back and watch the previous video we uploaded, you can see that we're going to end up with a lot better of a PC for not that much more money. But let's go ahead and get into it. So first, we're going to go ahead and pick out the CPU. And I think that the best bang for our buck right now is going to be the Ryzen 5 5600. It's really close to the 5600X, but it's also about $15 cheaper. You can get the 5600G, but something to keep in mind with the 5600G is that while it does have the integrated graphics, so this is again a budget build, so if you need to hold off on getting a dedicated graphics card because you're really that tight on money, you can get the 5600G and then add a graphics card later, yes. But it is actually slower than the Ryzen 5 5600 by a good margin, and that's due to a smaller cache, and then also something to keep in mind is that it only accepts a PCIe 3.0 interface on the CPU side, so that's, or on the motherboard, so that's something to keep in mind if you do decide to go with 5600G. But today we're going to be going with the 5600, but if you need to save about 10 bucks, you can. But I think the Ryzen 5 5600 is the way to go today. It does come with the CPU cooler, so we won't be needing that. But let's go ahead and look at the motherboard. So I think really the best thing we can do here is just sort by price. And because today, again, we're just going for the extreme budget. You can go with a A520M, and that is a way you can cut costs, but we're just going to check out this motherboard here real fast because it is pretty comparable to a B550, for instance. It's got PCIe, I think, 3.0 here for the GPU. It does have an M.2 slot, but there's something to keep in mind is it only has 2 DIMMs and it doesn't have any heat sinks. Actually, let me double check that about the GPU PCIe slot. Does it say? I think it's sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's PCIe 3.0 only on a 520, and that's something to keep in mind. Here, why don't I check real fast. So yeah, as you guys can see, this is on Puget Systems website summarizing the differences between B550 and A520. The PCIe support for A520 is PCIe 3.0, so maybe if you decide to go with the 5600G option, this is a good option for you, but I think we're going to try to go for B550 if we can. But again, this is a point where you can save money. You can go with this board, the ASRock A520 HDB, but keep in mind it doesn't have any VRM cooling. You're going to want to check to see what the maximum amount of wattage the board actually supports, because that's something you can always need to check, especially with these cheaper boards. But I think I saw, yeah, here we go. ASRock B50M Phantom Gaming, it's $90, so it's about 20 bucks more. This is about $70, so we're going to go with this one though, just because it actually comes with, it has a VRM heatsink, it has 4 DIMM slots, it has a M.2 slot, couple extra motherboard PC slots. Oh, there's another M.2 slot down here, it looks like. Let's see, the IO, reasonable, but this is an actual full motherboard, B550M or B550 chipsets. That means we're gonna have PC 4.0 in the slot, or the graphics card slot, so we can actually support a higher level graphics card, or even a 6500 XT if that's something you want to consider putting in this board. But so we're going to go ahead and add this. And let's go check out the memory. So we're going to go, again, sorting by price because we're going for a budget build. But bare minimum, we're going to need, I like to say, let's stick to at least 3200, 2 8 gigs DIMMs, because we want at least 16 gigabytes, and we're just going to go for the cheapest option. CAS 16, it's great, good. Literally that simple today, because we're trying to penny pinch as much as we can, and even already, there are more places we can penny pinch, but to me personally, I feel like the 5600 B50 is as far as I would personally be willing to go. So let's go for the storage. Now, something to note is that NVMe drives, especially, have gone down considerably in price as of late, and you can get them for dirt cheap now. Like, here's a $20 256 gigabyte M.2 NVMe SSD. But we're gonna go, and you can probably beat the deal that we're gonna go for today if you keep your eyes open. I think I saw something crazy like a 2 terabyte NVMe drive that was like 70 bucks, and I was like, what? But we're gonna go for 500 gigabyte NVMe drive, and all these are gonna be about 29 bucks, 30 bucks. So this one has a lot of reviews, Silicon Power, so we can go for this one. This one, Kingston, though, I did notice it's about the same price as PCIe 4.0. Might want to do more research than what I'm doing right now, but for me, I'm gonna say, hey, $1 more for PCIe 4.0, why not? It might not even actually make a difference, but let's just go for it. So in the video card, I think this is where I'm gonna probably do something a little bit different. I think that's where most people kind of differ with these budget builds, is what are you gonna do for the video card? We want a game, we want a video card, right? Personally, I think I'm gonna go with the 5600 XT, and some people might be a little surprised by that. But see, we can get it for about 200 bucks, and this is brand new. Again, this is another place we can save money. Is if you go and buy a graphics card used, you can save so much money than buying it new. But we're gonna go, and this is Tom's Hardware, just general at 1080p, because if you're going for budget build, you're probably going for 1080p gaming. For the 5600 XT, it's a bit better than 2060. All the driver issues are all ironed out since then. It's not quite a 6600, it's between a 3050 and a 3060. It is older, so there's something to keep in mind, but I think in terms of a budget build that we're just trying to throw together as best we can, 5600 XT is looking great. We're gonna be able to game on that just fine. Case, now this is also, it's not everything's on PC Part Picker, I've said it before, but we're just gonna go for the absolute cheapest we can that has some kind of ventilation, and for us that'll be this DIY PC F2. And there we go. You feel free to look around on Amazon, Newegg, wherever, try to find yourself another case, but it ain't pretty, but it works. Power supply, we're gonna take a very similar methodology with this. I would almost never recommend this power supply, but we're really just trying to throw together a PC that works. And hey, it plugs in, it turns on, that's considered a win for this PC. And honestly though, if you ever decide to put some more expensive parts in here, I would not recommend sticking with this kind of power supply. I would really want to go with something higher rating, that check some more online reviews for some power supplies that are really great ones and that are super in depth out there. But today, we're just going all in on just saving every dollar. Somebody's been out there mowing lawns and they said, we just got to get a PC that works. We just want a game. We want to play any game we can with our friends, whether it just be Minecraft or something. But so this is what we finally ended up with, and our final price is $570. That's the promised price mark. But I'm gonna go over a couple points where you can probably save some money, or you can spend some more money and get a big difference. And in general, with the Ryzen 5 5600, honestly, even for like a new PC that has a bigger budget, if you're just at 5600, still for me in my mind is kind of in that sweet spot where you're still getting a lot of performance out of your CPU, where you can still stick in like a 6600 XT, maybe even a 6700 XT, maybe like a 3070 Ti, and still get away with not losing too much performance in most games. So the 5600 is actually great for that reason in this build. But you can also save some money by maybe going for like a, I'm not sure, I think the 13100F, it's either about the same price or a little bit cheaper. And we also talk with 5600D, where you can also get the integrated graphics there as well. But the 13100F I think is a little bit cheaper. You might be able to get like a cheaper board, but I think you actually might lose a little bit of performance, or it might be about the same. It's just a little weird because again, it's a 4-core chip. 13100F is a 4-core chip, and this 5600 is a 6-core processor. And some games are more or less multi-threaded, so that can, you just have to look at your specific game, your specific use case, and see where you can save a little bit of money. The motherboard, the B15, we kind of talked about that. You can go for an A520 board, but I thought that PCIe Gen 4 would be really nice, especially combined with the BRMs. Something to keep in mind with the motherboard though, that I mentioned earlier, is it does not have any integrated Wi-Fi chip. So you're either going to need to be close to like your router, have Ethernet cable run to your PC, or you're going to need to get like a cheap like $5 or $20, something around there. Add in either a USB card or just get a PCIe card. I would recommend the PCIe card because in my experience, PCIe cards have just worked so much better than any of the USB dongles in terms of just drivers and plug and play. So just go ahead, if I were you, I'd go on Amazon, try to find one of those for like 20 bucks. I didn't see any Wi-Fi boards really close. That might change, but I would say just go ahead and go for one of those. Memory, we can't really save money there. You kind of need 16 gigabytes now. storage drive, you could go with a SATA SSD, but I don't even know how much cheaper it's going to be. I didn't look, but $30 is still super cheap for 500 gigabytes of storage, and you can add on a few terabytes more with not that much more money in like a hard drive if you just want big storage. But for a boot drive, $30, 500 gigabytes, pretty good. Especially it's PCIe 4.0 NVMe drive too, so that's really great. Video card, talked about it. Go on eBay. That's about the best you can do. But if you do that though, let's go back to this Tom's Hardware graph. There's a lot of other graphics cards you can go with that are a little bit better, like 5600 XT. That's one we went with brand new. But you could probably go for like a 2060 Super, maybe a 2070, a 6600, maybe I don't know about a 3060. I don't know if you'll be able to get a 3060 for $200 or less. But buying used will help you out a lot. I did actually see though that the A750, if you're willing to go Intel or you want to try on Intel, it's $220 new, or $230 new, somewhere. It's $220, $230. If you want to try that out, that might be a way to go, because it is a bit faster, and I've heard a lot of good things about the drivers lately. They've been doing a lot of work over there. So hey, if you want to try something new, that might be the way to go. But as of now, I just think the 5600 XT is a really good sweet spot in terms of new price, being available new, and also just being able to game one really with no issues. And then our case, cheapest thing we could find. Same thing with the power supply, cheapest thing we could find. I would heavily recommend either, if you're going to get a case, you can look and find something. You can probably find something I would highly recommend getting something with a ventilator up front somewhere, but if not, you just want to go with something you like. Honestly, there's not that much wattage that you're going to be running in this PC, so you might be able to get away with it without any really loss of performance. But power supply, 500 watts, thermal take, it's a name brand power supply. It does have a warranty, so that's something to know. I think it has a 5-year warranty on it, but I would really caution against buying such a cheap power supply if you can help it. If you're going to want to move money around, I would really recommend moving money away from some of the other parts in the build and moving them to the power supply. But if you just want something that works and you're going all performance and you're just like, I'm going to play it, and then eventually I'll save more money and I'll do something later whenever I want to upgrade it again, I'll just upgrade the power supply and do that. But if you want to switch this out, I'd really recommend at least 650 watts, because that'll just last you probably another upgrade. And then also that's kind of where things start looking a little bit better. Make sure it's a name brand, well-known power supply. You can look online reviews for them. Make sure you just get something decent that's worth the money. And this is only worth the money because it will turn on your computer. But again, final total is about $570. If you guys have any comments or any feedback on this build, please leave a comment below. Please like the video, help me grow the channel. It'd be much appreciated. But I'll see you guys later. See ya.